Alright, hello there. SilverSkullGamer here. I'm going to be, I guess this is just kind of a vlog. I'm just going to be trying to base some of my silver skulls here, identify models I need to do some touch up on, and I guess just kind of ramble. And you see this syringe I got, actually this was originally for medicine for one of my dogs. And I thought, wow, that's like perfect for adding water to paint, which is what I'm about to do now to my foundation. It's been sitting for a while. I'm not sure what I'm going to do when I run out of this stuff. Whoop. Wow, there we go. So I have no desire to purchase the new paints. And I use a cup of distilled water to add to the paint. Kind of like to thin this down since it's my only pot. I have a lot of miniatures to do with it. The pigment I'll use also kind of a rust colored, kind of going for almost a Mars terrain, the red dust. Yeah, I just I have no real desire for converting to the new Games Workshop paints. I will stick with Vallejo, and hopefully Vallejo doesn't change their paint range in the future to try to keep up with Games Workshop. I hope they just stick to what they got. You know, if they want to improve the formula or whatever, that's fine, but just keep the colors, because I'd really be SOL then. So, I like to use an assembly line method, and I realized I put the glove on the wrong hand. I like to try to keep my sweaty hands off my models. Alright. So, get some of this thick paint out of the top. Yeah, I'm not going to convert to Games Workshop's new paints. I mean, I guess from a business perspective, like a lot of things they do, it makes sense in the aspect of just squeezing every last dollar out of the customer. You know, I don't know the exact numbers, but you know, you went from like a 100 paint line to what, over double that or something crazy, like, you know, because you got the layers and the, I don't know, it's crazy. It seemed like a money grab, and then they changed the names because they're trying to hold on to all their copyrights and trademarks that don't really exist. So now they're trying to start over again, and yeah, whatever. And I guess that kind of leads into what I really wanted to kind of talk about, because it's really been entertaining me the last couple days on the interwebs, specifically DACA, is the Chapterhouse lawsuit. And I'm sure there'll be all kinds of fun comments from the 10 people that actually watch my videos. who I love every one of you, and but it's just hilarious. Whether you dislike Chapterhouse or dislike Games Workshop, you know, whatever side of that argument you're on, if you go on Daka and just look at what, because there's some legal people that are kind of doing the work for us lazy, you know, blue collar, well, everyday Joe forum browsers who are too lazy to dig through the legal documents. If you, you know, they're doing the work, going through, pulling out the good bits of the documents, and it's very entertaining because Games Workshop's lawyers appear to be completely incompetent. I mean, I couldn't make that stuff up. It's amazing. Like, if it was a sports game, somebody would have invoked the mercy rule, because they're just falling on their faces in every deposition, every argument they make. One thing I saw yesterday was that Chapterhouse issued a counter statement, or I don't know all the terms, but basically it was, you know, it was a counter document to Games Workshop's claims, and in the Chapterhouse document they actually pulled the direct citations with pictures and everything from Games Workshop's document, and one of them was about shoulder pads, and the picture on the left showed a Chapterhouse plain Space Marine shoulder pad painted blue and gold like an Ultramarine Second Company, and on the right was clearly a picture of the back of a Games Workshop plastic shoulder pad. You know, it had the proper, you know, it had all the little indentions in the back of the armor, on the edges of the armor, and it was clearly plastic, unpainted. And the claim, Games Workshop claim, was that both pictures were of Chapterhouse's metal shoulder pad, you know, and they're claiming, look, it's a direct copy, you know, of our product, when in fact any gamer knows that Chapterhouse 1 doesn't make plastic shoulder pads, and 2, resin and metal cast shoulder pads don't have all those little indentions on the back. I mean, it was obviously a Games Workshop shoulder pad, and it's stuff like that that makes you wonder, are they that dumb, or are they actually being intentionally you know, malicious? Are they lying intentionally and trying to get away, cheating? I guess my vocabulary sucks, but you know, they're cheating. Are they cheating, or trying to cheat, or are they really just that stupid that nobody caught that? You know, maybe it's a combination of both. Maybe somebody was trying to cheat, and then the rest of the people that were supposed to check the document were just that stupid. I mean, I have no idea. It's hilarious. And then in the depositions where Chapterhouse lawyers interview Games Workshop employees, I mean, it's just, it's hilarious. You know, there was quite a long bit about I think it was Jess Goodwin or Godwin or whatever, one of the big guys at Games Workshops, and the subject was about, you know, images, marks, you know, like the tactical arrow, and iconography, basically. and Jess, I'll just call him Jess because I can't remember his last name exactly, and his answers are basically like, well, you know, yeah, that image predates, you know, the Bronze Age, and Romans used chevrons, and you know, griffins are basically heraldry images, heraldic. I don't know. Y'all can laugh at me later in my Southern American public education, but you know, basically, you know, a lot of the icons the Games Workshop uses are ancient images. You know, like the griffins and the eagles and the wings and the, you know, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, you know, it's like nobody has a copyright on those. And it's just hilarious. It's like, okay, they're trying to claim copyright infringement on Roman chevrons that have been around since Roman times. I mean, good grief. You know, it's ridiculous. I don't know how they're going to win. I mean, it just seems, just from what I've read, which is very little, you know, it's like, holy cow. How are they going to win this? And, you know, and as I posted on the forums, you know, I don't want to see Games Workshop go out of business because I like 40K. You know, I mean, do I agree with their policies and practices? Hell no. But they make 40K. And I do use... there's actually... I think it was Jess Goodwin again, or whatever his name is, talked about the Polish bit makers, you know, and I guess they hate... they do not like Poland very much. And then somebody on Daka was like, oh, you know, is Jess Goodwin a new Nazi now? He doesn't like Polish people. You know, and y'all should know that I've bought a lot of stuff from Puppets War and Bits Pudlo, and they're both Polish. You know, but I still buy Games Workshop. Like, I can't use those pieces without owning Games Workshop models. So, you know, I think that's the thing that obviously eludes Games Workshop. You know, they want complete control over the hobby, you know, spelled with 4 H's or whatever. Oh, it's ridiculous. You guys probably can't even see what I'm doing on camera. This is terrible. I'm sorry. Oh, it's terrible. It's really terrible. You know, and just the comedy continued today when I checked the thread again. There was a back and forth on one of the depositions, and they used initials for the names, so I'm not really sure who it was, but you know, the Chapterhouse lawyer was asking about asking a Games Workshop guy, like, okay, this figure, can you tell us specifically what part of the figure in front of you, and I guess he had a picture, you know, what part of the figure in front of you is trademarked or copyrighted by Games Workshop? And his first answer was, well, the size, the shape, and the general content. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Games Workshop is now going to claim copyright on general sizes, general shapes, and general content. So, of course, you know, the Chapterhouse guy is like, okay, can you be more specific about, you know, what about the size and shape? And then the next answer is, oh, well, it's generally round and, you know, kind of like the shape of American softball or something. And then the Chapterhouse lawyer comes back and says, okay, so you're saying that Games Workshop claims copyright on the general shape of an American football. And then the next thing in the text or whatever is, I guess, the Games Workshop lawyer, you know, yelling objection. And I guess it was actually because the Chapterhouse guy went from softball to football. But either way, I mean, it just shows that the Games Workshop hasn't actually proven to have copyright of hardly anything that they produce. And then not only can they not prove to have copyrights on even specific things that they probably should have, they then try to claim copyright and trademark on general shapes and sizes. It's insane. It's ridiculous. And I can't help, just for the sole fact that Games Workshop is apparently so incompetent in their own defense and claims. I hope they get their asses handed to them, which they are really. But apparently this legal proceeding is going to go on for a while. There has to be some kind of summary judgments by a judge, and then it may or may not go to trial court or something. I don't know. I just read it for the comedy of it now, just to see what next thing is going to come out of a Games Workshop employee's or lawyer's mouth. It's really hilarious. Quite hilarious. On a more positive note, there was also on DACA, it was posted an article on Slate.com, I believe. I put it on my Facebook page. It's an article about the prevalence of Warhammer 40k specifically in the U.S. military, which is pretty cool because it's actually, unlike that other article from Italy or whatever a while back, it's a very positive article. It doesn't try to talk down to the gaming community and be condescending and, use nerd in a negative way. Although apparently there's people out there that just get offended at the word nerd, regardless. But, get over it, I mean, I think neckbeard has replaced the negative connotation, use of nerd. I don't think nerd's that negative anymore. I mean, look at Big Bang Theory. That show's hilarious and I guess fairly popular. I like it. But I think there's a difference between geeks and nerds too. But that may be evolving as well. Who knows? I always thought geeks were more, techno geek. More technologically inclined. But that could be changing as well. Who knows? I'm not hip to that kind of stuff. But me being a service member, I thought the article was pretty cool. I've never actually played 40k in that capacity, while in the service, in uniform, deployed. But I'll tell you what, I've played the hell out of some Risk. Classic Risk now. Not this noose crap they got. Well, classic to me, with the horses and the men and the cannons and that Risk. We did play one of the newer versions. I guess it's the 2008 game with the factories and the cities and bonuses and stuff. That's pretty good too. But apparently older versions of Risk are very expensive. I kind of wish I'd kept mine in better shape, because we were looking while we were deployed to get another game, and one like the one I had, like the box I had from way back in the 90s, was like $180 on Amazon or something crazy. But I also recommend Risk. It takes forever, but if you got a good group of friends and nowhere to be anytime soon, like 6 to 8 hours, Risk is pretty awesome. But maybe next time I get deployed, I don't know when that is, but maybe I'll have my Silver Skulls shipped over. Oops, sorry. I know I'm bad at this. Can you even see what I'm doing? I'd hate to waste like 10 minutes of video. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. You just hear me talking. Even though that's more the point of this. Because this isn't exciting, is it? It's like watching paint dry. I'm not being that delicate around their feet because I'm going to end up putting pigment on their feet and the lower part of their legs anyways. So this is a pain. Trying to get this brush underneath the model, not get paint on the model. Hopefully I'm not transferring paint from the glove to the model either. That would be terrible. I should have stuck them on the paint pots. Oh well. In fact, you know what? Yeah, let's not. There we go. Ta-da! There we go. Alright. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll ever do painting tutorials because, like I said in my intro video, there's way better established YouTubers out there doing painting tutorials. I mean, honestly, I got my painting technique for my Silver Skulls from Awesome Paint Job. When I saw his How to Paint Doom Legion Space Marines, I just fell in love, and I was like, yes. Because I found that shortly after I think I decided to do Silver Skulls. And really, when I was going through the 4th edition, no, 5th edition codex, yeah, trying to find a chapter, it was coming down to Doom Legion or Silver Skulls, but Silver Skulls seemed to have more background information, backstory. I'm gonna try to stop using the word fluff because it's just a dumb word and kind of, you know, I don't know. It's not the right word, you know. It's backstory or story period, background. Anyways, but yeah. So I got Silver Skulls, and then I used his, you know, his painting tutorial. I used the exact colors he used. The airbrush, the first coat was gun, and then Vallejo air gun, and then, you know, a highlight from the top angle of steel, Vallejo air steel. And I have to say, if you're going to paint metallics, true metallics, buy Vallejo air metallics with a brush, even if you're using a brush. I mean, the pigment is so fine, and it's pre-diluted because, you know, it's made to go straight in an airbrush, even though I think most people thin it anyways. I do. It's just incredible paint to use as far as true metallics. It's so far and above metallics that come out of a Games Workshop pot. So there's a tip for you. If you're gonna paint true metallic, buy Vallejo Model Air metallics. They probably have more shades of metal anyways because they have let's see. Okay, this 71073. You see, it's Negro Metalizado. Well, that's Spanish, but basically it's listed as black metallic, even though the bottle says I think that's something metallic metallizer, gun metal. Yeah, say gun metal metallizer. So it's, but this is a very dark metallic. I haven't used it on any of these models, but I did use it on the legs of a Furioso Dreadnought that maybe I'll pop up on the screen that I painted for a friend of mine for a surprise birthday present. And it's very dark metallic. And then you have gunmetal, which is probably the next step up. Gun. So 71072 gun. And then it would be what? Steel would be after that. So then you have steel, 71065. And let's see. I think aluminum would. I don't know if I've actually used aluminum, but aluminum's probably the next one up. Uh-oh, it was just 71062. Didn't we just have? Oh, 65. Okay. So aluminum would probably be your next brightest, and then what I love, absolutely love, is for my Silver Skullies. Wow, how much aluminum do I have? is chrome. I can't find my chrome. But they have liquid chrome, and that is just awesome stuff. Or awesome sauce, whatever you want to say. Well, I can't find it. But I don't know. I got some around here somewhere. Steel. Jeez Louise. Well, I don't know what happened to it. I just bought some more of it too. Anyways. But the chrome, I don't know if this model has chrome. Who's got chrome? Somebody's got chrome. Anyways, yeah, so metallic Vallejo Model Air Metallics. Can't recommend that enough. Like I said, yep, I got that from Awesome Paint Job, and it's funny because I discovered him, started watching like almost all his tutorials, and then that's right about the time he dropped off and got away from the painting tutorials and started doing his other projects, you know, which is pretty cool because now he's working with Wargamers Consortium, which is probably my other. Those two are definitely in my top 2 YouTube painters. So when they started working together, I thought that was pretty awesome. Even though I use black base coat for my vehicles, I really liked Wargamer Consortium's pre-shading on a Rhino with an airbrush. That tutorial was really awesome. But I have to say, as much credit as I have to give to those two, I really think I don't know, it's close, but I think I would have to say my favorite YouTube guy is known on DACA, I think, as the guy with the Polish accent, but on YouTube he's bypainted.com. He does some amazing stuff, and it's so simple. Like, well, I say it's so simple. I mean, you know, he makes it look easy, but I don't know. It's just the way he can use an airbrush. You know, he highlights vehicles with an airbrush, which is how I did the Big Mama. That's where I got that from. Highlighting a black vehicle with an airbrush. You know, highlighting the edges with a dark gray and using a card to block off the edges and stuff. That's on his Death Company Rhino, or Razorback, Death Company Razorback tutorial. So if you got black vehicles, watch that video. And his Baneblade tutorial was just incredible. Like, the weathering effects and everything, it's really awesome. As far as like conversion work, I'd have to say Templar's Crusade definitely got some good stuff going on his page, and he does reviews of third-party resin stuff too. I noticed he's done some Puppets War heads, I think, maybe shoulder pads and some other stuff like that. But yeah, for conversion work, probably Templar's Crusade. I don't know, there's so many out there. Oh, I really like Girl Paintings videos too. You know, if you're using a brush, I think she uses an airbrush now for base coating or priming, but I think she does most of her painting with a brush. She does some really good stuff. And as an American, I just enjoy listening to people with accents. Well, certain accents. English accents, Russian, Polish, you know, German. I don't know. It's more entertaining, I guess, because we don't hear that over here, so I like to hear something different. Now, if we could just get a hot Australian female wargamer on YouTube, then I might get a divorce. I'm just kidding. Alright. So this is exciting. How much time we got? I have no idea. I really don't have any idea. So, I don't know. Some of y'all have probably stopped watching by now. Okay, I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Moss X. I think, if, unless there's a language barrier or misinterpreted his comment, paid me a pretty high compliment today on my channel. Commented on my channel and not a specific video. My first channel comment, and he said I could be one of the bigger YouTube wargamers, and I thought, whoa, that's a pretty bold statement for the few videos that I've done. But hey, I mean, that's really awesome if he thinks that. Appreciate that. I'm trying. I really like doing the unboxings, and I try to get as detailed as possible. Show you guys the flaws in the models with these resin stuff. I'm not trying to, obviously I'm not trying to knock the resin guys. Hopefully they'll see my videos, maybe improve their. Well, that's pretty arrogant of me, isn't it? But maybe they'll see the videos, say, oh man, we need to, maybe we should work on that or something. But I don't want to tout a product and not really show you up close what you have to deal with. I mean, if you're gonna have to do cleanup work, that should be in an unboxing. It should be like, yeah, you're gonna have to do some cleanup work. Like the biker. As much as I love the overall design, not so much the bike, but the bike rider that came with the kit. It's gonna take a lot of work on my part, and I'm not a sculptor. I mean, the most I've done with green stuff is fill gaps on the Big Mama cannon, and that's not really detail work, but that biker, he's, missing thumbs, and it's got some bubbles and some detailed places. So, I try to do really detailed unboxing videos. My last one was like 20 minutes. I just wanted to go over every piece and let you guys see what it was probably going to look like coming out of the box. Not just talk about, oh yeah, you get this piece, and this piece, which, to be honest, most of the unboxings out there, that's pretty much all it is. It's like, hey, you get this piece, and this piece, oh, it looks really cool, yay, I had to pay a compliment to Ichiban Painting because he did a review of the Storm Eagle, and I don't think he got like real close up with the pieces, but he talked about the assembly flaws and how hard it was to work with, or he just went into more detail than most unboxings that I've seen. And I paid him a compliment, and he thanked me for it on his YouTube channel on that video, because I think he did go a little above and beyond the average, and that's what I try to do. Maybe someday if I keep doing this, I'll get more subscribers. Mr. Moss X did subscribe to my channel as well. I appreciate that, and everybody else that has subscribed. There's about a dozen of you. So, and I appreciate it, because I think the wargaming YouTube market or arena is getting pretty crowded. So, I don't expect to be the next Manerius Augustus Colgar, but maybe I can focus on a certain area like the third-party resin pieces and unboxing videos, and maybe I can make that my little specialty. Just go a little more in depth than everybody else when I can buy those pieces. I'm not poor, but I'm not rich, but this month, whew, it's come close. So I'm definitely gonna have to lay off the new purchases for a while. So probably won't see any unboxings for me in the next month or so, but I have enough pieces around to do some videos on, you know, assembly and painting and conversion work. If you've seen the end of the biker unboxing, I've got a fairly decent size conversion project in the works. Well, I haven't started yet, but I'm gonna do it because, you know, people kind of asked for it in a way, indirectly and directly. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it, and I think hopefully I don't gack it up, but I think it'll be more awesome than what we've already seen. So, you know, just have to wait and see what comes of that. Who's next? How about this sergeant here with his Max Mini head and his Max Mini resin trophy skull there. I wish there was like a way to order these resin pieces from different companies, like, you know, let's say Anvil Industries makes full bodies in resin for space, well, super soldier equivalents or whatever, and I don't want to get them in trouble, but, you know, they make legs, running and semi-static, you know, posing, and they make torsos and arms. But, you know, let's say I don't really care for their head models, which they have a lot of, and some of them are pretty good. You know, I think it'd be cool if there was a way I could just order from different companies on the same website, and then, you know, basically it'd be like I don't know, playing, I don't know, it'd just be, you know, mix and matching, you know, like, okay, I want legs from this guy and heads from this dude, I want weapons from this company, you know, and then I want it all to come to me in one box. That would be pretty awesome. You know, I don't know, maybe these maybe eventually these third-party guys will kind of get a better retail distribution up and have more retailers carry them, or maybe if I was a genius I wouldn't have said anything at all, and I would have tried to set this up on an internet website, you know, and get distribution deals with them, and then create a mix and match. Damn, I'm just giving it away, huh? Well, whatever. Somebody go do it. Just give me credit, okay? That's all I ask. Just say, yeah, this is great, inspired by that stupid guy, SilverSkullGamer, who just gave the idea away. But that would be awesome. You know, I know the bits makers, they want you to buy their product, you know, like, you know, I know Anvil Industry, if you're going to build a completely one-off, you know, Space Marine, you know, he'd want you to buy his weapons, his arms, his legs, his torsos, whatever. But I think it'd be pretty cool if there was a website where it'd be like, well, you know, I really like this and this, but this company, I think I like that style better. And some of the companies do kind of specialize in certain styles or certain areas, you know. You know, I think most of them start with orc heads, but I tell you what, I do not want to paint orcs. I think probably the hardest army there is to paint well has got to be orcs, because even though their vehicles are like ramshackle, it actually takes a lot of work and skill to make them look good. I mean, you can't just slab some paint on them, even though, you know, they're rolling hunks of junk. I don't know, I do not want to paint orcs. I think I've totally talked myself out of ever collecting orcs, because the painting would just kill me. I mean, I would never finish an orc truck. You know, there'd be so much weathering and paint chipping, and golly, I can't even imagine. So, you know, respect to well-painted orc armies out there. You've got patience and skill more than me. This is difficult. Man. You know, then I guess I should have done a better job getting the loose sand off these bases because it's coming off on my brush. It's really being a problem. I think this guy's got chrome. We're talking about chrome paint. I think his faceplate is chrome. Shoulder pad's got chrome. This is the Metal Terminator Honors pad. And you can see the edging is smaller. Some of the older metal cast shoulder pads are just smaller. The details kind of shrunk down. It's a little dark too. The brass needs some highlighting, I think. It's a little dark. But and there's the Silver Skull pad. Obviously, you know, I haven't really done highlighting, so I just wanted to get them basically tabletop, and then, you know, get them all to at least the tabletop, and then go back and attempt to do hard edge highlighting, you know, that kind of thing. So, man, I had a lot more pots with sticky tack on them. I don't know where they all went. Okay, yep, this went really long. I'm like over 40 minutes, so I'm just gonna say basically goodbye real quick. I'll just produce this video in a lower quality so that it doesn't take my crappy DSL internet connection forever. Because obviously this isn't really for the visuals, it's for you, for some weird reason, to want to listen to me ramble on and on. So, thanks for watching. I really appreciate